Hey there, fellow YouTubers. Frank Bush here again. So I'm out with the family this time. We're setting up the walled tent. Just got the ridge line up, and I'll show you that. It's just a ratchet strap where I've taken off the short lengths of strapping that they had on there and put on my own custom strapping, if you will. And then I hook those on with a soft shackle. And that, you know, straps around the webbing, the strapping. And then I've got those hooked into some tree huggers that are 10-foot tree huggers I've got that strap onto the tree. So it makes for a really solid ridge line. Easily able to support the weight of the wall tent. This whole package I think is 5.5, 6 pounds for the wall tent. Made it myself about a year or so ago. So I'll show you further along. But there's a fire ban on right now, so having to use propane and alcohol. I've got the tripod just thrown together, and that way we can have a place to hook the camera up, that type of thing. And, the wife's just putting together all the lawn chairs or camp chairs, if you will, for you know, the kids and stuff to sit. There's a fire ban, so we're just kind of treating it as a living room more than anything. And I got my partner over here diligently hard at work assembling the Mylar tents. Yeah, I'll give you a hand in a second here, darling. So you get a couple of these put together. They'll end up going in the wall tent. Like I say, camping, we're not kind of backcountry. There's a road that has a bridge that's right there, with the river down below and that type of thing. I'll show some shots of that a little later on. You know, we'll end up having an area that we can have a bathroom and that type of stuff. Still got to put up the tarp, you know, closed door tarp tent for that, so there's some privacy. But other than that, camp's starting to come together. Just thought I'd do a quick little recording here, show you where the family is going to be kind of hunkered down for the next couple of days. Should be a good one. So setting up the wall tent, found the ground is as hard as rock in this location, so putting in tent pegs is pretty well an impossibility. So we've switched up now of I just plan on grabbing stones in the area. I'll do a close-up of exactly how I'm kind of setting these stones up to brace things, but I do still have to gather more stones than I have. But hold on, I'll do a close-up on what I'm doing up here. So the lines I've got coming off the wall tent actually come down and form into a loop. And so what I've done is I just drove a stick, drove the, you know, the loop, drove a stick through it, and then I put my stone down on top of those. And it kind of makes it a little easier to kind of stack the stones up and let them use the weight against each other. So the thinking really is, I've done that pretty well. I've got a stick attached to this one holding the line, a couple stones there, same on all the different points. And I'm going to add on a bit more stone just to make sure that the weight of the stone really helps keep things locked down. But like I say, unfortunately this land is just so rock hard that I just had no other option but to do this. So I've got it done on the one side, and like I say, the exact same construct exists on the other side, where I've got the stones with the sticks kind of bracing it. So I could definitely use some more stone into that location. It's still only a small one there, but unfortunately this is the adaptation that you have to do if you don't have any type of tent pegs, you know, being able to be driven into the ground, that kind of thing. But either way, as you can see, the wall tent's definitely starting to come up and come together. I'm not able to put in the stove this time because there's a fire ban on. So I mean, I could put it in, but there's no gain in having it. So we're just going to leave the door that I have there shut. Like I say, normally the stove jack could feed through, but I'll straighten that out so it looks prettier later. But either way, as you can see, the shelter's definitely coming along. We've got the cots have all been assembled, all the lawn chairs or camp chairs, they've all been put together. Raina's been very industrious. She's put together all the cots for us. So we're in good state. Things are starting to come together. So the family just decided to run down to the river for a few minutes, kind of cool off and splash off a bit. But needless to say, the wall tent's now set up and got all the bits and bobs stuffed into it. Like I say, I know these rocks aren't really an ideal setup compared to if I use tent pegs and that kind of thing. I feel far more secure with them. And as you can see, I've got the cot in the back. That's a 6 foot by 2 foot, the regular sized Thermarest ultralight cot. Then I got 2 larges side by each, if you will, with a walking space in the middle. We just threw down a ground tarp to kind of keep the dust and dirt down around the beds. But still got to throw the lighting system up and that kind of thing. But either way, got that side of things pretty well under control. And just zip up the door and make sure that the bugs stay out and that kind of stuff. So like I say, a tripod kind of used for doing some of the camera work. We did get all the furniture set up and put out little, you know, stools and that kind of thing wherever we could find a space. But the wife was having a hard time. She said she wanted somewhere that was kind of raised up a bit to do a kitchen because there was no flat areas around here. So I'll stop as a side note. This is the Platypus 2 filtration system. It's a gravity fed system. You pour your water into the dirty bag, filters through, and then comes out the other end. There's different adapters you can put on those to directly hook on clean canteens and Nalgene's and those types of things. But so you might have seen this tarp in other videos that I've done. I've used it as a bed and other things, but to kind of get the food up off the ground, I thought I'd throw the cooler in. You know, set up the tarp and let it be a little loose in between the 2 trees that were fairly close to each other. I just used my rapid ridgeline to quickly throw it up. It only took a couple minutes, but it allowed me to throw the bag of food and the cooler, you know, get it up off the ground and that kind of thing, so things were easier to access. And the wife seems happy with that, so who am I to argue? But fire ban is still going on, so we're just using a little Coleman stove setup that we have. There's a few more things that I'll probably set up, but the basic fundamentals of the camp are there. And if I do any more stuff, and I'll kind of add to the video as I go. But at this point in time, the wife just made me a coffee and took the kids and gave me 5-10 minutes to just kind of relax and take it easy. So I just thought I'd stop and do a quick little kind of, this is how the camp's laying out. I still want to put up some tarps for the toiletry areas and that type of thing. And you know, without showing you kind of too much detail of the toilet, but they sell these toilet seats that you can get where it's just a toilet seat, but it hooks on any, you know, 5-10 gallon bucket and that kind of thing. So it's exactly what I've done. But I do want to put up kind of a little tarp area where people can have a bit of privacy while they're doing what they need to do. But either way, like I say, for the family outing, it looks like we got the basic part of base camp up and running and that type of stuff. Okay, well, the wife and kids are still down at the river, so I've just been kind of puttering along here. But I've managed to put in the lighting system now. I've got the Goal Zero lights. Just pan back. There's 4 of them that I've got set along the line. They have gotta get used to the GoPro. They have an off, low, and high setting, and you can adjust these pieces. I tend to leave them just up, but there's 4 of them along the line, and I just got that feeding into a solar powered battery bank. I do plug additional solar panels into it in the daytime, but extremely efficient setup. I think off a single charge from full battery, I think I can run these lights. And when I did the math before, it was somewhere close to about 2.5 days before I'd even have to recharge the lights at all. So, you know, these batteries are a little bit older. I've had them for probably close to a year now, but they have been outstanding batteries for their use. But so I'm not going to get that much, but either way, that should be good for a couple days. As you can see, I got my standard setup. I really like this combination. It's the Thermarest ultralight cot, you know, with Mylar on the underside, sitting on top of a Thermarest ridge rest sitting on top of it, which has Mylar style material into it, and then this Aegis Max with the Pillow X. I find this combination has been fantastic for the better part of the seasons I've been in. I'll just turn on the lights here for a second, give you kind of example of, as you can see, they throw, I wanted to do this recording video, I wanted to record a video about these lights a long time ago, but I was on older camera technology. I just wasn't too sure how it would pick it up in the dark of the night. So I'll try with this GoPro and see if it's up to the task later on. But either way, I'll just turn it off at this point in time. But you can adjust, like I say, each of the individual lights if I don't want to wake the kids up and want to kind of, you know, have a bit of light on that end, and away from the beds and that kind of stuff. Because I do have enough room, as you can see, where I could put a couple lawn chairs in here and have lighting and that type of stuff and just relax in here as well. We just haven't got to that point, but we'll see how everything flows. Either way, as you can see, I'm just kind of puttering along. This idea that we've done here with getting the food up off the ground, though, has definitely led me to thinking of, if you've seen previous videos, this is just a tube of nylon, ripstop nylon material that I sewed a tube of. It was Hyper D from Ripstop by the roll. Fantastic fabric. It really is top shelf material. But just kind of throwing it up to improv area to store the food for the wife, you know. I'm really under the approach, though, of this potentially could be far better if I just switched up this rope material instead of being paracord. Switched it up to some of that AM steel. It's the same kind of stuff like I use in the soft shackles. I'll just go back over here. Yeah, the same type of rope that I use here. I think if I remember correctly, this was 1/8 inch rope and had a breaking strength of 1,800 pounds or something. Really, really strong rope. It's so light, though, it floats on water. I think it's, you know, like I say, floats on water, and I think it's 10 times the strength of steel for the tensile strength, something along that lines. Fantastic rope, though. So potentially, though, if I switched it up and instead of using the paracord to do this setup, I mean, yeah, I could go with a bit of mule tape, but if I wanted to kind of jazz it up with some tensioners like you'd use in whoopee slings and that, I could use the AM steel and increase the strength, potentially give me a new hammock alternative that I could go with. A lot of the terrain I do find when I'm not, you know, camping with the family in kind of slabs, a lot of the areas I kind of stumble into tend to be this kind of uneven ground like you're seeing, you know, in the video, though. Of a lot of uneven terrain, you know. I do like the idea of getting up off the ground a fair bit, just because quite often it's hilly terrain. Even if I, you know, look over into this area, I mean, yeah, you're near the water supply and everything else, but if you want to set up in here, that's nowhere you're really going to set up. I mean, you could maybe get a tarp set up in there and find a way to level off, but it's definitely far more comfortable hammock style environment. Like I say, I'm out camping with the family, so you're going to hear cars in the background. The campsite is only a stone's throw from the road to get into the area, so we do kind of pick up that secondary noise. But as I go, I'm planning on being here for a couple days, so as I go, hopefully I'll be able to do a few more actual bushcraft things. Of this little project's definitely got mine going, and there was a couple other things I wanted to do while I'm out here, so hopefully I'll add those into the video and we'll kind of piece something together that's worth watching by the end of it. But as you can see, either way, the lighting system set in, the bedding's done. And still got to get food up and running pretty quick here, but when you're working with propane and that kind of stuff, it simplifies the whole process of cooking, really. Just got to actually make it happen, right? But either way, I'll leave it be here and we'll catch you in the next part of the video. Okay, well, the sun's definitely getting close to being down now, so I've just turned on the lighting system and let the kids play in the tent for a minute. As you can see, well, I know these cameras don't seem to, hey guys, these cameras don't seem to really handle low lighting conditions very well, but as you can see, it lights up this space really well. It really gives it as bright as it would be inside a normal living room. What do you think, guys? Is about as bright as it would be at home?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I bet.
So, like I say, I got all the lights up on high. I don't need to have them up on that to function and stuff. I just wanted to show a good example of it and try out this GoPro camera that I got a couple months ago. And I just want to see that how well this actually picks up the filming inside this environment. And from everything I can see so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. It seems to be holding colors and lighting.
What I'm seeing.
So.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's really good.
The camera's really good. Can I see?
Yeah, I'll peek that way.
Oh yeah, the camera's really good.
Yeah, it works. So it works good in the nighttime, but either way, I'll cut it here and we'll show more in the video to come. Good morning, fellow YouTubers. So we're into the second day now. Everybody's just waking up, making some oatmeal and that kind of stuff in the tent. Threw up a quick clothesline. There's a few rope craft things I wouldn't mind getting into this video, but threw that up near the end of the night just because kids were playing down in the Korea River there and managed to get wet. But yeah, the wall tent held up really well. Some condensation on the inside. That's nothing really changed since the night before. Just like I say, just kind of got up and just doing our morning routine at this point in time. So I got the solar panel set up going. To power the lights that I got up in the wall tent, I use the battery bank there that has a little solar panel. But I also wire in, over here I've got Anchor 21 watt solar panels. They're foldable. And I use this to charge the tablets and cell phones and lighting systems and all those types of things. So just set this up for a couple hours to kind of soak in some of the sun's energy for the next day kind of thing, right? Okay, so you guys came back from your scout mission.
Yeah.
And what did you end up seeing when you were out there? Did you see any wood?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw some wood.
It was like square, like.
Square? Excellent. So it was something maybe we could use for a table or something?
Probably.
Okay. I'll just put together a wood gatherer. And so just to show the people on YouTube, I've got 2 equal lengths of rope. And I've put loops on both ends of those. So there's 4 loops altogether on 2 pieces of rope, yes? So what we do is you take the loop of rope and you feed it through itself to form yet another loop, if you will. Oh, hold on. 2 seconds. And then we take that, we slide that on the piece of wood. You want to slide it in so it's pretty close to the middle. And we'll do the same with the other piece of rope now. So I just put the line through the loop itself so it kind of folds in on itself. Roll it in if you have to. So it makes almost like a noose now. I just slide that noose onto the wood and cinch it down tight. I do the same thing on this piece of wood now. Well, we turn around and say, alright, let's pull the line through the loop, fold it over to itself, stick it in, cinch it down a bit. Take the last loop, and you put that through, kind of roll the knot to itself, slip that on, and kind of cinch it to itself. So this is the basic rope carrier now. Those ropes are, like I say, of equal length. So we're going to take a little stroll, and you girls can show me where you guys saw the wood stack.
Okay.
And we'll gather up some wood. Alright, we're off on the great adventure. Looking for these stacks of wood that they've explored and scouted out.
Wait, are you?
We've got our wood carrier with us. We're heading off.
Correct. That is not safe.
Someone's gonna trip on
Yes, baby, that's safe. There's cracks in the bridge.
Oh, this is so scary.
It's not a, they're purposely placed cracks.
Dad, are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so scary.
Never. I'm gonna fall. Look at this.
So this is the area we're camped in, up on the lower Harris. The river is definitely pretty low right now, but the square 2x4 pieces of wood they've found are somewhere down in the woods over here in the campsites. So we're gonna have to go down and see if we can grab those and bushcraft ourselves a table of sorts.
Where the
Okay girls, so the way that this thing works is we take our wood and stack it on top of the lines.
Okay. That seems like a wood.
Yeah, you guys want to help just kind of stack the wood up in a pile here?
Sure.
Be careful of the wires though,
Okay.
some of them.
And then we'll try to keep it four deep.
Okay.
Don't worry about the nails and stuff, right?
Well, I thought, no, they're wires. You can just take them out.
Oh.
And they're dangerous. Here, there.
Hey, grab those ones and the one behind you.
Be careful with that thing.
All right, good job, guys.
One more, Dada.
Yeah, put that on there. We'll see if that's too much for this little rope or not. Oh, it's gonna be a tight one.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's probably
There's
too
a
much.
bug on you.
We might actually have to pop some of those out
Ooh,
and
I want to carry some.
carry some of those. Let's try it this way.
Here.
Oh, this seems like a
Carry
little
two.
So what you do is when it comes to these two ropes, you take the bigger of the two, you put it through
Cool.
What?
That is pretty cool.
I know.
the smaller one.
So
I was trying to carry so much yesterday.
Autumn
And
should carry
then-
one.
As soon as you know that that's kind of through and hooked on, you can pick them all up and carry them.
Can I try?
Autumn, it's really heavy.
You just kind of make sure that everything's good and centered.
Is it light?
Now it's a way to carry a lot of wood
Mm-hmm.
without, and you can do that with just raw trees and everything else. We were just lucky enough that you guys stumbled upon 2x4s, but
Dada, could I please
well, it's
try?
pretty heavy, baby.
Autumn, no.
Oh, it's pretty heavy, isn't it?
Let me try it. Let me.
Oh, good job. But Daddy will carry them. Yeah? Yeah, okay, put it down.
Look at Araya.
Good job, though. But you can see you can carry a whole bunch of wood that way. Okay, so the wife's decided she's gonna take these pieces of wood and throw together a bushcraft improv table, if you will. But the 2x4s create a good flat top. She's made a second shelf in there to put the sugar or whatever other things onto. So all in all, she's doing some solid work over here. I mean, it is 35 degrees Celsius out here, so she's motivated. That's not too bad, she's saying. Well, there you have it. Oh, and there you go. Simple improv. Oh, you want to put on that finishing piece of wood?
Babe, can you not? It's like, well, yes.
Hey, look at that. 2 shelves deep. Perfect. Little camp table, improv style. I think you did a great job, babe. So those pieces of 2x4 that we ventured off and found earlier have stacked themselves into a nice little 2-level shelf system that we have up and running, and gave us a little area to kind of set other pots and stuff on the side. You know, nothing major, but just part of the adventures of, you know, doing the bushcraft stuff and camping, however you want to look at it. Like you say, we got a kind of a mini kitchen going on here now at this point, but just thought I'd show you what the wife had put together. Day 3 of the family adventure. Just thought I'd show you this river. I don't know if you can see the stones on the camera down on the bottom, but this river is pretty clear. This is the little zone the kids were swimming in yesterday. This is really the size of the active flowing river now. It's pretty dry. Well, super good little find. I was just coming up from the riverbed, scored this little multi-tool. I'll have to check that out when I get back to camp. I don't know how long it's been sitting here. Let's see if the light's even working. Hold on. Hey, look at that. We have light. I mean, it's only a little crappy LED, but yeah, it works for me. Excellent. Yeah, good score. Just found this down at the bed of the river. Yay for me. We'll go see how the wildlife is doing. The wildest thing out here.
Real wildlife in the tent.
Yeah, that's right. We keep them in a tent, protects them from nature. How you guys doing in here?
Hi.
Hi, playing on your tablets?
Yeah.
Having fun?
What were you doing over you were gone?
Oh, I just went and took some pictures, and then I found this cool multi-tool when I was down at the river. I'm going to check it out.
Whoa,
It's got a flashlight and some pliers and stuff, I think. It looks like a screwdriver. What do you mean, have it? I just found it. And I'm going to check it out. I just thought I'd take a peek on you guys. Well, what are you doing with your tablet? You can't just leave it laying there. You got to put it up on the cot or something. Put it in place. Yeah, that's a good place. So, no, I just came to take a peek, see how you guys were. You're coming out?
Yeah, I want to come and see what that
Looks pretty cozy in there.
Yeah, it is. I was just lying on the back part.
Yeah. So we're getting into a little bit warmer part of the day. You can see how I kind of just opened the tent up, if you will. Just kind of let the air flow through. One thing I do find with this tent, it's not bad when the stove's in here because it'll just dry everything out, but the condensation on the single-walled tents when they're large like this, and you have, you know, I have ventilation, but it's not massive amounts of ventilation. They're down on both ends. So when this thing's sealed up, it'll make sure that you got enough airflow to kind of keep things flowing, but at the same point in time I do shut it down. But the side effect of that when you get up in the mornings is that you get a lot of condensation. I don't know if I can catch that on the camera very well if it's seeing that, but so you have to kind of let the tent dry out a bit. Here, yeah, you can see the moisture on the tarp fabric itself. That's about the best I can show you, really. But yeah, so I got to kind of air it out. Normally I just have the stove go for, you know, half an hour or so, and it would dry everything out. But as you can see, kind of a kid-friendly zone. Put down a blue tarp, just keep dirt down, and it gives them an area to kind of play with their toys and everything else, and you know, all that kind of happens. Oh, got the badminton net set up for the kids. Oh.
Yeah, let's see.
Hopefully this helps burn some of the steam off them. Just throw it over the net, Autumn. Just throw it over.
Okay.
It's all right. And like you say, we got.
Oh, what am I doing?
Oh. Well, and then we got some badminton rackets and birdies, right? That'll help keep the kids busy for a while.
Dada said that I could just go.
Yeah, 2-minute little thing to set up. Well worth having to keep the kids busy. So on day 3, we've got the flashlight is a solar charging. Got the Anchor 21 watt solar panels, and then we've got this Out XE battery charger with solar panel, and then in behind it I just tuck in my headlamp, and that's charging up as well. Just trying to soak up a bit of the sun while I can. The area I'm in has a fairly small window where the sun shines into it, so I don't get huge amounts of collection. But either way, these 21 watt Anchor solar panels tend to fill things up fairly quickly, and it's easily enough to make my lighting systems adequate to run pretty well for hours every night. Are you guys having fun so far? Yeah, so how did it go with the volleyball?
Fun.
Yeah, good times. You can go down to the
play?
river. What's that? I don't know if you're supposed to sniff those candies.
What?
I think you're supposed to eat them. I don't think you're supposed to sniff them. Alright, so that's the game plan though? Because you guys are going to go down to the river?
We're going to go down to the river, but they said they were going to play a game of volleyball first.
Oh, they want to play more volleyball.
Can we go to the river first?
I don't know, the sun's out and you guys make your calls.
Enough is little stuff. What? Are you recording, Dad?
What's that, baby?
Are you recording?
Yeah, just showing how easy it is to use this platypus system.
Oh, say that I was talking.
No, I don't care, baby. It's fine.
A little cup of chips and a lime.
It's like having a tap in the woods.
There's only like 1 or 2 actually.
Well, it's the final night of camping. The girls are inside the tent giggling away. Started to tear a couple things down, took down the badminton rackets and stuff, and got to take down the tripod. Pulled the bag off the tree, threw it in the car. I still need to get at that, I think. Got to take down that clothesline. Just got to pack stuff up for in the morning. We'll try to get as much stuff done in the evening as we possibly can, but, you know. Girls, did you have a good time camping so far?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, yeah, with a cry even. Well, sounds like it's been great. I know you're sad we're leaving. It's okay. We'll go camping again soon, though.
You don't like
Dad, you said you would never take us.
Because you were talking about how much you hated camping. So, all right, I'll never take you again. Earlier today.
No, I wasn't.
Well, maybe it was autumn.
No.
No. Everybody loves camping.
Yeah.
I thought all my frames disappeared.
So we're looking at going camping again real soon.
Yeah, in like 2 days.
2 days, we won't even be home then. Well, maybe we will. Well, in the last couple hours before we're heading out on the 4th day, of course, it decided to start raining. So, we're lucky enough though, we took down half the stuff in the evening. But, unfortunately, we have to leave the chairs out to sit in a dry spot and de-soak, if you will. And the only dry area seemed to be where we were keeping our kitchen stuff, but yeah, needless to say, lucky the majority of our stuff was in the tent by that point in time. But so, as you can see though, it's raining. They weren't even calling for rain, so I feel kind of lucky that we managed to avoid the better part of it. But there you have it. It's time to pack up and take the family home.